All right, y'all. Welcome back to the Foxbody Junkie YouTube channel. My name is Brandon. Today we're working on an 86 GT T-top project car. So in the last video I had on this thing, we went ahead, we got it started, we got it running, but there's still plenty left to button up on the car. First thing to do is the exhaust, and that's actually what I've been working on already today. I figured I'd get into a good spot where I could get some work done and then show you guys what I've done. So far I had to take the H-pipe back off because it was really close to the cross member. So this is a SN95 H-pipe, like a 94, 95 5-liter H-pipe, and they're a little bit different than a Fox. The goal with this car is to just use parts that I had laying around or use parts that I could source for cheap. I got this H-pipe off of Facebook Marketplace for 80 bucks, and it's in really good shape. And finding off-road H-pipes in California is pretty hard to do. With all the smog laws and everything, it's just hard to come by them. So, decent ones at least. So we had to modify a couple things to make that work, and it's still not perfect. It hangs a little bit lower than I'd like it to, but I think that's just the kind of what we're going to have to deal with. So with that being said, I went ahead and got the mufflers put in place, and I actually had to put two sets of mufflers on it. I had a set of Flowmasters that I've had around for a while, and they were the bigger bodied Flowmasters. I can't remember what series they are, but they're real long. And the driver's side worked really good, but the passenger side, the muffler is actually touching the drive shaft. So went ahead, and yesterday I went into town and purchased, this guy was selling a complete Flowmaster. Well, it was a stock catback off like a 99 04 car, but it had welded in Flowmaster mufflers. So, and he sold it to me for 20 bucks for everything. So you can't even buy one knockoff Flowmaster for 20 bucks. So I got both of those with the flow tubes, and I just went ahead and lopped off the tailpipes and got those put on. And so I'm taking like 3 or 4 exhausts to make one for this car, but in all reality it's only gonna cost me like, I don't know, I might have like $125 in it by the time I'm done. So pretty happy with that. So I'll go ahead, I'll show you guys what I'm working with, and we'll hop into the car and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, so this is the fun zone here. So this is a set of tailpipes I had off of 87 LX a long time ago. I'm not using any of this. This is all, it's not mandrel bent or anything like that. But the reason why I kept it around is because it had good Foxbody hangers. So we are going to cut the hangers off of this for the tailpipes. So that's what I'm about to do right now. I've got both of those, that one and that one. So we'll cut the hangers off of that for the tailpipes. And here is one of the tailpipes that I cut off, that 99 to 04 Flowmaster catback stock, but yeah. And then here is the other one. Part of the reason why I got it so cheap is because this thing was all bent up and damaged, so most people don't want to deal with anything like that. So, but it was good for what we needed it for. So that being said, I'll hop into the car here and zoom in a little bit. So here's the H-pipe. Like I said, this is a 94, 95 H-pipe. It fits okay. I've used them in the past. They're okay. They're just a little tight in some areas. So I was running into some clearance problems right here on the transmission cross member, and I went ahead and took the H-pipe off and just made a little bit of clearance on the pipe. It's not going to be a big deal. This thing makes all of 210 horsepower. And then I went ahead and clearanced the actual cross member a little bit as well. So we have clearance there, so it won't be rattling on anything. And I went ahead and cut the emissions tube off of it, welded it closed, since this car doesn't have any of that. And here is the Flowmaster mufflers that we got for like 25 bucks, however much it was. I can't even remember, it was so cheap. But like I said, it had the factory just forward flow tubes welded on it still, and it'll be fine. So for what we're working with, nothing crazy high horsepower here. So we got those put on there, and that took some effort back and forth because the flanges for the BBK are a little bit bigger than the Ford ones, so I had to make these a little bit larger. And yeah, so it's just work. And then we got the hangers that were welded on here for the rear. Try to get back here and show you guys. So
these hangers were already welded onto the mufflers, and I'm just going to leave them. They work. Yes, I know the bottom of this car is filthy dirty. It is what it is. I'll probably wash it after we're done. So, big goon squad method. You know, put everything together and wash it when you're done. No, but so went ahead and I got the actual rubber isolators as well, the hangers from that guy as well that I got the cap back from, so that worked out good. So we got both of those set in place. Like I said, the other Flowmaster muffler that I was running was actually making contact with the drive shaft over here. So I've got about 1/4 of an inch between this muffler and the drive shaft now. I don't know if you can kind of see that on camera, but sorry if the angles are terrible. So let's see if I can skate under here now. You may ask yourself, what tailpipes is he running? So these tailpipes actually came off of a like 40 or 50,000 mile 97 GT. Now the 96 to 98 GTs, they have a different hanger on them. That side he already cut off. I got these for free, by the way, from a buddy. This one, it still had the hanger on it, and I'll show you guys that in a minute, but I went ahead and just cut it off, and I did make a little bit of a hole in the tailpipe, which that happens sometimes, just is what it is. So welded hole back up, and went ahead and just slid it in the muffler there, and I'm gonna have a buddy come over here in a minute and help me kind of line everything up here. If you guys got a helping hand, that definitely helps out a lot. Well, we've got our hanger up there, and what we're going to do is we're going to get this kind of set in place to where it's happy. And typically, you see that line right there on the tail light? Typically what I try to do is line that muffler or that tailpipe tip up about even with that line. It doesn't have to be perfect, but that's kind of about the distance from the edge of the bumper. And then as far as the gap between here, you know, maybe a finger and a half width, whatever you're happy with. Just don't put it on top of it because you're going to burn the shit out of your bumper. And you don't want it all the way down here either. So, you know, maybe a 1/2 inch gap, something like that would be good. And you'll notice we've got clearance all around here and plenty of clearance on the tire as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get these all set up. I'll get everything tacked in place and get the hangers tacked in place, and then I'll drop the front of the mufflers down and weld everything out. So let me see if I can find, it's right here in the grass. So here is the hanger that I cut off that tailpipe already, and you'll notice. So here's the driver's side. So that is how the 96 and up cars work. Hanger goes straight back instead of like this for the Foxbody one. So like I said, we're gonna go ahead, I'm gonna get these hangers taken off of here and get this all cleaned up. I gotta take that other tailpipe off and take the other little snub of the hanger left off of that one. Weld up the hole. By the time I'm done with that, my buddy should probably be over here, and we'll get these things tacked in place, weld it all together, and hopefully hear what it sounds like with a full exhaust. All right, y'all, next day here, and have my good buddy come over and help me kind of line up the tailpipes and make sure everything stayed straight while I tacked everything together. And we got the tailpipes put on, everything's welded up, it's all done. So I'll turn the camera around and show you guys what it looks like. All right, so down here, that's what they look like. I think they look pretty good. One thing to note, kind of how I always do them, is on an LX car, you'll have this line here on the taillight. I just try to kind of line the tip up best I can with that line on the tailpipe. And then as far as kind of distance between the bumper and the tailpipe itself, kind of just a good finger width is usually pretty good. Not too close, not too far away. And then obviously just kind of make sure that your tip is centered. It's not lopsided one way or the other. And however far out you like it. Some people like it really far out. Some people like it about, this is a kind of medium, I'd say. And then some people kind of like them to be flush with the bumper itself. I like them to stick out just a little bit, being that when you look at it from the side, it kind of lines up a little bit better with the molding.
So just personal preference. These taillights are off of a 97 GT. I'm not sure how much I touched on it. The car had about 45,000 miles. Once I got them all welded on there, I took some just light aluminum polish and kind of went over them real quick. So you guys can see what I was kind of referring to with the hangers here. It was really windy yesterday, and my gas is kind of blowing all over the place. So not the greatest welds on the hanger there, but they're definitely not going anywhere. I did have to shorten them up a little bit. It took about an inch off of these hangers out of the center here and weld them back on. So they were just a little bit on the long side. It was a little bit further down than what I wanted. So got that one welded on too, and crawl up under here. Show you guys the masterful welds that ended up on the mufflers. So got that one welded on and that one welded on. Now granted, I had to fill in pretty big space there. About that size of that weld is how much gap we kind of had in the mufflers. Now granted, you could take these off the car. I could have hooked them from the hangers there and the H-pipe up there and kind of dropped them down and probably got a little bit better weld on them, and I could have taken a hammer and kind of closed up this gap so the weld wasn't as big. But I'm gonna be honest with you, those welds aren't any worse than some of the factory welds that I've seen on these things, so we're cool with it. That's part of the thing, you know, just looking at the quality of car, you know, just try to match, I guess, that, you know, this thing doesn't need to be TIG welded or absolutely beautiful, gorgeous welds on an exhaust like this. So it'll do the job great. But yeah, so tailpipes are on here, and I know you guys just want to hear what it sounds like. So I'll set you guys up. I'll try to find my tripod. If I can't find it, then you'll just get the old hand cam. So let's figure that out. All right. Hopefully the sun quality doesn't get blown out. So. Sounds like a Foxbody with flow masters. Let the idle drop down a little bit. I'm gonna let it warm up for a couple minutes, and then I'll give you guys a couple little revs, and we'll shut it down. All right. Well, hopefully the audio was okay with that. I will find out whenever I look at it, but that's pretty much it for the tailpipes here. We've got this thing jacked up still. Oh, I want to show you guys the clearance on everything. It's got plenty of clearance on the tire there. Got more than enough space. Could put a bigger tire on this thing if you wanted to. It's already got a 305, but we do need to replace these tires. As you can tell, they have seen better days. So we'll probably end up putting like a 285/35. It'll be a little bit skinnier than this. However, you can tell how much bulge is on this tire. It'll be just fine with a 285. I'll probably put a 285 on the rears, and fronts are pretty good, so we might leave those. But yeah, so what we're gonna end up, I've got to get the rear disc brakes put on this thing, so I'm going to take the wheels off of it and start working on that, and I'll probably make that its own separate video. If not, I'll drop it here in this one. And but as is, this exhaust was exhausting. It was I don't know, 110 degrees outside yesterday, but in the sun it felt terrible. So I know you guys are feeling it too outside in the summertime if you're out there working on your projects. So stay hydrated, drink plenty of water, do all the things that you need to do. But I've got my tent up today, and had it up yesterday, but like I said, it was windy as sin out, and yeah, it wanted to blow away. So didn't have it up the whole day, but yeah, so really happy with how the exhaust turned out. I think it looks pretty good for using a bunch of parts that we had laying around, and saved us a bunch of money not having to spend money on everything. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing. Appreciate all the comments. The last couple videos have been really great on the comment section, so that's awesome. Keep it coming, y'all. Like the video, share it, and do the things you guys like to do. But I appreciate you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next one.